What's up everybody, Soul here with another sort of Convallaria video, and today we're going to take a look at our girl SP-Samantha or Samantha Everglow, and we're going to analyze what she's doing in her kit, how it all works, and what probably will be best for you in your gameplay. This is a fantastic magic damage dealing character who is absolutely waylaying everything, and it has been a blast to play her. With that said, let's get right into her. First and foremost, let's take a look at this trait, Judgment of Justice. Before attacking, it inflicts Judgment Brand for 2 turns. And at the end of the turn, it triggers the Judgment Strike effect, which deals 30% magical AoE damage to enemies within Judgment Brand in battle. Then dispels 1 buff. When the character has Radiant Watch, it increases the damage multiplier to 100%. This effect does not inflict Judgment Brand. So yeah, really good stuff there. Judgment Brand is of course a debuff where it increases the damage that enemies take by 10% and AoE damage they'll take by 5%, and it cannot be immunized or dispelled. Wow. So that is a fantastic thing right there. And then Radiant Watch is pretty phenomenal too, in that when gained repeatedly, the duration stacks. All allies within 5 tiles of the character gain the aura effect. At the end of the turn, it dispels 1 debuff and they gain Radiant Blessing. And then they also get, for all aggression and or papal state allies, the attack of class skills also inflict Judgment Brand. So you're going to see this as a reoccurring thing here. Judgment Brand, extra damage, really big deal. Super duper phenomenal stuff there in her kit. It's free damage at the end of her turn every time. It's your allies having the ability to inflict that, and to inflict that extra damage with that Judgment Brand. It's just, oh man, it's so much good stuff in her kit. And then you've got Glorious Light. It's a buff. When taking damage, you recover HP equal to 30% of the caster's magic attack. This effect can stack up to 2 times and remove 1 stack after triggering. So a free heal thrown on top of everything. Wow. Can't say enough good about this. There is so much in this kit, so much going on. It's absolutely phenomenal. Let's dive deeper and take a look at what we got going on in here. Now, as you saw, her trait is amazing, but at 2 stars, now we're getting a max HP and magic attack increase on top of that. So it's really nice, of 8%. And then down here at 3 stars, we see another enhancement in that now you're going to get your crit rate increased by 15%. And then also at the start of battle, you're going to gain that Radiant Watch until the start of the next turn. Really good stuff. When you see this Radiant Watch, we read it already. Awesome. At 4 stars, we get our magic attack and HP increase up to 16%. That's awesome. We really double in that stack. Honestly, 3 stars and 4 stars are both pretty good breakpoints. But at 5 stars, of course, this thing kind of goes insane, where now you're getting an increased crit rate of 50%. That's right. When the character attacks targets with Judgment Brand, it increases the crit rate by 50%. Whoa. On top of that, now that Radiant Watch starts until the next turn, and expands the Radiant Watch aura effect to the entire battlefield. So it's no longer anybody within 5 tiles. It's just period dot across the whole battlefield. Whoa. And then on top of that, at the start of the turn, you recover 1 additional energy. This character absolutely goes hard at 5 stars. Hard to refuse. And yeah, SP-Samantha, you want her 5 stars in my opinion. Let's take a look at the ranks and abilities. Now, of course, we have to start with her innate ability. And yes, Light of Judgment for all sins. This is a magical damage. It deals 70% AoE damage to all enemies within a 3x6 area in the target direction and increases damage multiplier to 100% for enemies in the 1/6 area in the middle. So when enemies are in the middle line, as it says, they're getting at that 30% bonus damage. Anyone on the outside lines getting that 70% AoE damage. This is a 2 energy cost, no recast or no cooldown. Really, really good stuff. Huge range, great, decent damage, and then, you know, no cooldown. Really, really good stuff there. It's hard to refuse that. And then we have her SP skill, Indestructible Faith. This is a reaction. When having 3 energy, it triggers resolve upon defeat. When triggered, it consumes 3 energy to recover 100% HP and can be triggered up to 2 times per battle. This is a phenomenal reaction, and honestly, I think it gives her some great utility and survivability, and I highly suggest you to keep this equipped on her at all times. However, if you're not worried about it and you think she can survive the hit, then I would highly suggest you run that energy recovery. But man, this Indestructible Faith is so good. I think it's her best in slot in all scenarios. Now onto the ranks and abilities. And so right here at rank 1, you have on the left, Chain of Regeneration. This is a passive. At the end of the turn, it heals the character and the ally with the lowest HP percentage within 3 tiles of the character by 50% of her magic attack. Decent stuff, nothing wrong with this, super duper solid. I went with what's on the right here, and that is Energy Restoration. This is a passive. At the end of the turn, recovers an additional energy. If the energy is less than 1, you recover another energy. So 2 energy on those instances when your energy is less than 1. Really good stuff. Now, either one of these is what you can pick up, but I went with what's on the right. If you go with what's on the left, that chain regeneration, there's nothing wrong with that. Just do you. Do what you want. Up here at rank 3, you have Fire Purification. There's a 3 energy cost, no cooldown. Magic damage, deals 150% AoE damage to all enemies within 1 tile of the target and inflicts Bound Vision down 1 and Move down 1 for 2 turns, and transforms the tiles within range into burning tiles. Bound Vision down 1 is a debuff. It's a control disruption. It reduces the max range of skills by 1 tile. Man, removed after an active attack. But man, that is awesome. Reducing the range, reducing mobility, create and burn. This is a phenomenal skill. However, I have to suggest you to get what's on the left, and that is Prayer of Devotion. That is a 1 energy cost, 3 turn cooldown, where it is a healing instant and it heals all allies within 3 tiles of the character for 30% of her magic attack, and then grants them 1 stack of Radiant Shine, anti-heal immunity, and bound resistance for 2 turns. It grants the character Radiant Watch until the start of the next 2 turns. So I suggest that you get this because not only is it an instant and a heal with a lot of really good bonus effects, but we want more ways to get that Radiant Watch rolling and to get that out. And so this is really, really good stuff right here. And that's what's going to get it for us. So this is a phenomenal ability. The anti-heal, of course, makes it where you cannot receive that no healing debuff. And then, yeah, we all know what it is to have the instant cast, and that bound resistance means you can't be bound, you can't be stopped. Really good stuff. I love this ability, and I highly suggest you go for it. Up here at rank 5, you have Protection of Light on the left. This is a reaction when hit by an active single target attack. The damage taken is decreased by 30%, and this effect can only be activated 1 time per round. On the right, you have Energy Recovery. When hit by an active attack, the damage taken is decreased by 8%. Upon receiving an active attack, you additionally recover 1 energy. So this is what I chose right here at rank 5. However, you pick which one you prefer the most. In my opinion, the SP skill that she gets from having Samantha skill unlocked is far superior. And so that is what is her best in slot at all times. And these two are kind of moot. Up here at rank 7, on the right, you have her aura, Will to Cleanse All Foul. So there's leadership aura for all aggression allies and increases attack and defense. Pretty standard right there. And then that skill damage by 10% and AoE damage by 20%. This is a phenomenal aura for that reason. It's really hard not to want to pick this up. This is definitely worth a Castalia in my opinion. However, I suggest you to pick up what's on the left primarily, and that is Judgement Sanctum. The 1 energy cost, 3 turn cooldown support instant that dispels 2 buffs from all enemies within 5 tiles of the character and grants the character Radiant Watch until the start of the next 2 turns. Then performs Forced Alert, which cannot be interrupted in the area, dealing 50% magical AoE damage to enemies within 1 tile radius of the target and interrupting their turn. And it can be triggered up to 3 times per round. So you have an alert that strikes 3 times, that interrupts actions 3 times, and is each an AoE. So when an enemy walks up to you, they get smacked. If they're next to their friends, they're smacking their friends too for even trying. Their action gets interrupted, so they're just stopped dead cold. And then when somebody else comes in, it's so great. It's good. This is an amazing ability right here. Absolutely cannot resist it. That 3 turn cooldown is kind of a blow sometimes, but honestly, there's ways to work around it. And this is what I would absolutely suggest you pick up at rank 7. Rank 9, you have Scorching Attack on the right. We've all seen this. It's been on 100 different characters, not literally because there aren't that many. But yeah, it deals 80% magical damage and scorches the opponent. Good stuff. However, I suggest you get her other basic attack, which is Light of Sanction. This is a basic attack, deals 3 hits for 23% magical AoE damage to all enemies within 1 tile of target. Just a great ability. Another AoE. That's what she's going to scale off. That's what you want to build her around. So pick this up, slap it on her, and you will be satisfied, in my opinion. Up here at rank 11, you see Crystal Implosion Extra. 2 energy cost, 2 turn cooldown, magical damage that deals 60% AoE damage to all enemies within 3 tiles of the target and inflicts magic defense down 3 for 2 turns. This has become a reoccurring thing. We're seeing this on these new magic attack characters where they're all getting access to magic defense down 3 with a big AoE hit. That's more of the same with different names, and this is SP-Samantha's version of it. I suggest you to get what's on the right here, which is Oath to End All Evil. 3 energy, 3 turn cooldown, magical damage, deals 228% AoE damage to enemies within 5 tiles of the character. For each additional enemy hit, it reduces the skill multiplier by 30% to the minimum of 100%. Then dispels 3 buffs from the target and grants the character Radiant Watch until the start of the next 2 turns. Reoccurring theme there with the Radiant Watch. This ability, it might read that it's not going to do a ton because it's reducing that skill modifier down to 100%. Let me tell you something. Not only does this thing have a massive AoE, it just smacks. I mean, it's devastating how much it smacks. Absolutely phenomenal. Love this ability. Can't say enough good about it. Highly suggest you to pick this up at rank 11. With that all said, let's take a look at the builds. First up, we have her alert build. So for her alert build, we're running with that Course Sanctum, Light of Sanctum, Energy Recovery, though her SP skill is her best reaction. Put that in slot if you can. We're running that Judgement Sanctum, Prayer of Devotion, and that Will to Cleanse All Foul on her. Now, I'm running the Prism Staff on here as I don't have her signature weapon, and there's nothing wrong with the Prism Staff. It does a super duper solid job. I will make a note that in all cases, the signature weapon at 5 stars out damages Prism Staff at 5 stars. I have tested this. I got access to her signature weapon on the test server, and I ran it. I compared it, and at 1 star, it does not. It does not compare to the Prism Staff at all. It pales, and by a wide margin. However, once her signature weapon hits 5 stars, it outscales the Prism Staff by a good margin. We're talking about 2,000 to 3,000 damage per turn. So, really big deal. It will get away from it. And I think its breakpoint somewhere around 3 to 4 stars, somewhere in there. I think 3 stars is where it starts to kind of outshine it, in my opinion. But 5 stars, no 2 ways about it. Prism Staff is second. With that said, we're running that Prism Staff, And then we are also rolling that Hunter's Intuition. And for that Resonance, we're running double one because with that awesome alert ability triggering, we're getting multiple buffs. We'll constantly stay buffed with that 20% attack and 40% defense. Can't get enough of it. Absolutely love it. And we're getting the crit rates too. This is a phenomenal thing. And then of course we're getting bonus damage off of Hunter's Intuition. And then always, forever, Dream of the Magician. Best Terror Whisper on her, hands down. Outscales, outdoes Verdict of Justice all day, every day. Fantastic thing here, Dream of the Magician on her. Taking a look at the next build. This is what I call the hybrid build. And so this is more or less same. The only thing we're changing down here on her abilities is at the end now we have that Oath to End All Evil instead of her aura. And then we have switched out her trinket and we are now rolling with the Shield of Justice. We also changed our resonance to the Wand and the Cup so that now we're getting that engraving resonance and hopefully knocking down our cooldowns so that we're able to cast that Oath to End All Evil and Judgment Sanctum in between turns a little more often. It's a big deal, makes a big difference, and yeah, fantastic stuff. Once again, Prism Staff, great. Definitely gets outscaled by her signature at 5-star. For the last build, I am running a build I call Straight Damage. Now we have interchanged the first ability for Light of Judgment for all sins. You can run Fire Purification, nothing wrong with that. I just found my preference was to run the other, the lower energy costs and bigger AoE. However, you do you. And then we are absolutely running that Oath to End All Evil in the second slot. And then in the last slot, we have that Energy Restoration because we want to have as much energy as possible and to keep her rolling at all times with tons and tons of casts if possible. Of course, once again, we're running that Prism Staff because that is second best to the signature weapon. And then we have the Origin Hourglass. In this one, you want to be mobile, getting around, slapping people around with your AoEs. And we are running that Wand and Cup for that engraving resonance. And we absolutely want that Origin Hourglass because we want solid attack, but we don't want to have any issues with move and or speed. And then of course that Dream of the Magician, best in slot, no two ways about it. With that said, let's take a look at her in battle. Here it is, Tower 9-5. Let's check it out. Rolling her is a ton of fun. Tear with her does a great thing. Keeps her going. Lots of speed, lots of energy. Can't get enough of that. Coco's in the mix too, just because I want to make sure we drop that cooldown. I want her to spam as much as possible. We got SP-Samantha. She's going to give her the axe again and let her do her thing. And then we brought the Guz Goat just for the good times to show off what he does. SP-Samantha starting off strong, walking forward, slapping them up with damage and slaughtering them. We interrupt their actions. We don't mind putting her in the fray because of that. However, right there, he's immune to that disrupt, so he does not get stopped. And here they come. We're not scared though. SP-Samantha is a hoss. She can take a hit or two. We teleport Guzman down, even though he's in the middle of his charging action. It does not interrupt it. SP-Samantha, great damage. There's the big hit. Absolutely great. Get that flag Convallaria out, and boom. Good solid turn. Dandelion coming over. We don't mind. The Guz Goat can take some hits. He'll resurrect. Get that instant heal. Little basic attack and good passive damage from SP-Samantha. Come over with Tear. We buff everybody, get that speed. We take the hit from Momo. We don't mind. And a little bit of hallucinogenic shroom for Momo. Coming over, giving that act again. Dropping the banner and giving a good buff from SP-Samantha. Welcome back, Guz Goat, and get busy again with your AoE. Samantha sets up her alert. We hit with 2 basic attacks and destroy them. And the alert finishes off Momo. And there you have it. That is SP-Samantha. She walks forward, she sets up her alert, and she slaughters everything that gets near. And her range, her reach is massive. It feels incredible to play. She's a ton of fun and very, very powerful. And here it is, her rating, and it is absolutely telling the story. She has 0 in physical damage, 3 in tanking, a 5 in healing, a 14 in magical damage, the highest in the game as far as our scale, and then 4 in buffs, a 19 in debuffs, and a 20 in utility, bringing her out to a total of 65, making her the most highly rated character in the game according to my metrics. And so this character is absolutely come in hitting hard with the power creep and showing everybody who's boss as the highest rated character in the game, dethroning Estra. Super duper phenomenal character. Do not hesitate to pull for her. If you're thinking about it, you're reluctant, and you're not sure you're going to get what you want out of her, or maybe that she's worth it, let me tell you, she is. She is a phenomenal character that is hammering at the opponents, laying them to waste, and she's honestly a ton of fun. I love alert units. She's not completely built around her alert, but that alert is incredibly useful, hard hitting, and has great utility in that it just stops actions. It interrupts. We get this on other characters, but it really is only like 1 hit per turn. They'll set up an alert and they get the 1 hit and they interrupt 1 enemy and then it's done. She's getting it in AoE form 3 times. Whoa, it's phenomenal. 3 turn cooldown, you can argue, yeah, but she's doing it all in 1 action, and you can do other things in your other turns. It's stupendous. With that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you drop down in the comments and give me your feedback. Do you have her? Are you going for her? Have you enjoyed her? Or do you not like her and she's just not your thing? Do you have buyer's remorse? I want to know what you think about SP-Samantha. Make sure you tell me all about it. Thank you so much for watching up to this point, and a huge shout out to my Patreon members. You guys and gals are the ones that make it possible for me to get the characters, especially in this one. I had to hit the coffers hard to get SP-Samantha with the pull schedule we've had and everything that's going on and what we have in the future. You guys and gals in Patreon are making the difference and allow me to do so. So thank you so much for that. Please make sure you check the link out down below if you're interested in our Patreon. I have all things posted on there as far as all of our trinkets. I will of course eventually have weapons all on there, as well as all the character ratings on there. So make sure you go check that out. Check the Patreon page for all your free resources, and if you're feeling inclined, throw some support for the channel. Make sure you also check out our link for our Discord down in the description, where of course we talk all things sort of Convallaria and then some, and would be absolutely thrilled to have you in our community discussing it all with us. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I wish you the best in your Sword of Convallaria gameplay, and I hope you're having a blast with the game. I hope you're loving Samantha. Until next time, I will catch you later. Bye.